open mic. Ken, Dan, Bill, and Lou, the legend and his crew, for over 50 years, the longest show in town, Sports Open Mic.
Welcome to Flashback, Turkey Day Flashback number 30. I just, let me see, 93, 03, 13, 23, 24, 25, 30, 32 years.
Well, add a year too,
Why?
because that first one, it's
33 then. Thanks, Bill. I'm Ken, that's Bill. Dan's here. We are at Hilltop for Flashback 32, 33. 30, it's officially 33,
well, you count the first year.
so that's all I'm asking.
Yeah.
Okay, 33 years. How about that? Do you remember the first?
No, I don't. I was just a foreign correspondent at that time with Sports Open Mic.
Just breaking them in.
You still had
Actually, this program really started. It did start in '93. The premise of this program, when I first initiated it, was I was going to have people that was affiliated with the game broadcasting wise. And that's where we had Chris Berman, who was in California. I had contacted him. Dick Mansfield actually had done Dick Mansfield.
yes.
He actually done a Thanksgiving Day game. Bob Canty, of course, had done Wesley Thornton game. And I think there was a couple of other guys. But anyhow, I had contacted Chris and asked him to call in, anytime between, I think we were 6 to 9 at the time. So I get Dick Mansfield on first to talk to him about doing the game way back when. And he's got a guy that did the game with him on the phone from Florida. So these two guys are talking back and forth about the thing, and Gary was there, and he come into the studio. This is at ERI, and he says, Chris Berman's on the line. So I said, how am I going to get Dick Mansfield off? I'm talking to the guy from Florida. What do I tell the guy in Florida? We don't need you now?
Yeah.
And Berman's on the line from San Francisco waiting. So finally, and we had the phone in the studio where I could tell the lines were lit up, right? So the line that Berman was on was blinking because he was on hold. Then all of a sudden,
Dead.
I said, oh, no.
It was the end of the swap show.
Why did I blow this? So Berman hung up. So then I guess he had told Gary, he said he had to go to a meeting, but he said he would call us back. And he did. He called back about, I think it was in the 8 o'clock hour, and talked about Thanksgiving Day, when Thanksgiving he spent here.
So was that the phone from Swaps too?
Swap. Yeah, you're on Swap. That was really going back.
That was before his time. Way before.
Definitely.
Yeah, you don't want to. Yeah, I have no idea. Didn't even get that reference when you said it.
Well, there was an old time. That was on Saturday or Sunday.
I think Saturday.
Saturday. Yeah, I was 93. I was coaching at the time, and I would go on every now and then, and when I had some free time, because there was a story you wanted to tell if I had showed up last night.
Yeah, but you were
I was busy.
no guts.
Well, there was a situation where I couldn't make it. But there was a story you wanted to tell last night, and like a lot of people don't realize what goes into not just this game, but any kind of high school game. And back when I started coaching back in '80, you had a scout,
Hmm.
and his job was to go watch the opponents and tell the team what to expect, their tendencies, what they like to do, how they do things. And when I was hired as an assistant coach under Jim Morano, that was my job. So for about the first, I'd say 15 years of coaching, I only went to basically one, maybe two games a year. And that's Thanksgiving Day game or a playoff game. And back then the playoffs were after Thanksgiving. So I barely saw our team play unless it was on film. And that was my job. I was the only coach that did that. Now and then some other coaches would come out scouting with me. And I would tell them, you guys go off into your corner and I got to work. And that was my job. And Thanksgiving Day, realistically, for the first 15 years, was the only game I got to see
Yeah,
live.
I thought that was very interesting to talk to a coach that coached for 15 years and basically never saw his own team play, except maybe for Thanksgiving and maybe a playoff game. Because obviously, like if Westerly's playing Pontiac on Friday night, and your next opponent is South Kingstown, well, you'll be at the South Kingstown game,
I'd be at the South Kingstown game.
getting information to pass on for next week's game, and so on and so forth.
And
So you would never be at or whoever Westerly was playing.
well, back then we only played on Saturdays because we didn't have lights at Westerly. And there was only a few schools in Rhode Island at that time had lights.
Right.
So Friday nights, now and then I'd go to Connecticut and watch Stonington play.
Yeah, I know.
Because
you
they-
know
they-
your spot over there. too.
There was a bunch of schools over in Connecticut that did have lights. Killingly, you had Waterford.
They led you to have lights?
No,
No?
not at that time. East Lyme had lights. New London didn't, but I would get a chance to go watch them on a Friday night, or there'd be a game in Rhode Island.
So, in other words, what you're telling me is that every chance you got to watch Stonington,
I watched them.
you watched them.
I watched them.
Right.
No, and that was a big thing. If the only time I wouldn't watch them is if we had someone coming up that we really wanted a good scout on,
Yeah.
and if they played on a Friday night, and it was, us playing on Saturdays and only a limited Friday night schedule. I would go out Friday night, Saturday morning, because a lot of teams played in the morning,
Yeah.
10 o'clock starts or 10:30. And then I
Westerly did for a while.
would catch a game at 1 or 2 o'clock.
Well, that's when high school football was supposed to be played.
Yeah, as
Saturday afternoon,
Gary Engler
2
once said. But I would catch 3 high school games. I'd wind up getting film and breaking some film down because Jim Morano is always a guy that I got to have as much information on someone as possible. And back then, it was the old underground network for films. And there was no trade policy. There was no huddle back then. We had film on the reels, and going back and forth on a reel, you had to make sure you didn't burn the film. And that was my job. And I'm glad I did it because it taught me the game of football. It taught me all different offenses, all different defenses. And we practice sometimes with our scout team. We played the other team's offense just as good as they did. sometimes, and it helped our teams. It really did.
By the way, we're at Hilltop, the famous Hilltop. If you want to stop by tonight, the pretty good crowd in here right now. Stop and try some of that famous pizza.
It's pizza night.
They
8.2 on Dave Portnoy's
really
scale.
8.2. That's right up
That's really
there.
high.
They got the
Not
shirts
many,
out. Shirts. Hilltop Pizza 8.2.
Ah, that's nice.
Yeah, not many pizza places have gotten that high of a rating. So right here in Westerly, come on down, get yourself a pizza.
And of course, the other voice you heard was that of Coach Samaggio, who was information that he was giving me that he was supposed to give me last night at the Rotary uh, meeting last night, but he was too chicken to come.
Which we should mention, Ken Collins emceeing the Thanksgiving Day dinner, the pregame dinner with all the coaches and the captains and administrators and all that stuff. And I was lucky enough to be able to go with him, and he did an excellent job. Hazel even made the trip as well. She looked nice in that red coat
Didn't she?
we had on last night. Yeah,
Now there
absolutely.
must have been a lot of beaming players there from Westerly, the captains.
Sure.
Great job on the Super Bowl game. You know, Wesley coming out on top. Been a long time since Wesley had won the title, and you know, I hope it doesn't take away a little of this game, because this game is just, I think, is just as important. I can remember my senior year.
No, wait a minute. You telling me if you had your choice to win Thanksgiving or a state championship, which one would you pick? You
Personally,
can only have one.
I think I'd rather win Thanksgiving Day first.
Really?
Really,
I don't know about that one.
but that's something that you're gonna live. You're gonna live,
You play Stonington Thanksgiving Day every.
but you don't want to lose. You don't want to lose to
I
them.
understand that, but if you got a chance to play in the Super Bowl game, that doesn't come around very often.
No, it doesn't.
If you had to guess how many banners were in the Westerly High School Gymnasium, Federico Gymnasium, what would your guess be?
There's a lot of banners.
But how about football?
There's a lot of banners.
First time in 24 years, though. I don't know.
Yes,
I think that's something, like, I know for me, being a part of 2 state championship teams at Cherry, 3 now actually, because I was a part of one with the Cherry lacrosse team as well. Luckily, every time I walk in that gym, I can look at those banners and just think back to all those great times with not only the players that I played with, but the coaches.
well, but there is a saying: if you're not the best in your backyard,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why I personally think, because of the rivalry, a lot of people. What's the first thing people come up to you and say? Do they say to you, "You think Wesley's going to win the state championship, or how are they going to do on Thanksgiving?"
Well, no, because they don't know they're going to be in it. I mean,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, and I'm just saying, the Thanksgiving Day game, it means so much to a lot of people. It's you're playing for your family that had played before. You're playing for your school, your community, which happens on the championship game too. But I mean, the game to me is just so special. You know, I'll go to the game someday, and you know, I'm at the game. I never lost as a player in this game. I can say that, and be proud of it, and be happy with it, and be very satisfied. No, we didn't win a state championship, but you know, those big games we got.
So would you trade one of those Thanksgiving Day victories for a state championship?
That's tough. That's a tough thing. That's something that you'd really have to think about. Thanksgiving Day is and this is, I think it's something different.
No, I agree. Especially that was my first time ever going to that dinner, and probably the last time because I'm from Charahoe and stuff like that. So I was really fortunate to be able to go there last night and just to hear everybody talking about the game, the history of the game. I think it was 74, 73, and 17 the all-time series is right now. Westerly's down a game. We'll see if they can tie it this year, but that's got to be something special for the players as well. Coach Spozzato alluded to it last night, having the opportunity to tie the series. I think this Bulldogs team is going to come in ready to go, as will Stonington as well. But I think the Bulldogs aren't satisfied with just a Division II championship. I think they're really going to come in on Thursday and be ready to go at 10 a.m.
I wish, and I wish they had more time to recoup, because that game Sunday, just watching the game, you knew it was a physical game. And with Yusro banged up a little, hopefully he'll be all right. But they got 2 days to prepare, 3 days to rest up before it. It's not right. I really don't think it's.
Be careful.
I
Be
just
careful.
I know I got to be careful. That's why I'm trying to say it carefully.
Be careful. You always tell me, be careful.
No, you don't have to
I
be.
don't
I
care.
have to be. I just South Kingstown has got to play tomorrow night. Their Thanksgiving
So,
Day game.
yeah, so they cut a little bit shorter, yeah.
And,
All right, so why did they change it?
uh,
All right, so
Well, I think with the way I like how the games, the division championships are played before Thanksgiving. I really do. Because I think you run the risk of, hey, a Thanksgiving Day game, everyone wants to play in that, obviously, right? You're running the risk of losing players before you get to that state championship game, right? But I like the way they had it set up. I think you should just not play any games on Sunday and do them, Thursday, Friday, maybe have the state championships, right? Or Friday, Saturday. Give more time for the players to have off, and then I don't think it would look as bad.
yeah, they could do that.
just go back to the old way.
Well, I know, but they're not going to. But Dan's got a good point. Rather than play Sunday at 1 o'clock or 12 o'clock, whatever it is, if you play Friday, right, Friday night, that gives you 2 more days.
Or you play at different sites instead of playing at one site.
Yeah, well, if that's
Yeah,
got,
I'm sure they can figure that
I'm
out.
sure that could. All he's saying is move them up to Thursday or Friday, and yeah, play them at different sites. So you.
But I like that idea of ending on Thanksgiving Day, right? That's like the big game in your town or city, right? And and the players all know it's going to be their last game at that point anyway, right? So I think they can prepare themselves a little bit more, soak it in a little bit more, and when that final whistle does blow, especially for those seniors, right? I mean, they'll be able to appreciate it a little bit more. So.
Oh, I think that's a good idea. Maybe they could do that, and that would give that team, whoever's in there, in this case Westerly, a couple more days. If you play Friday, you got Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You got almost the whole week to prepare. So
I agree, especially for South Kingstown. That's tough having to play tomorrow night. I mean, you alluded to it. That game was very, very physical.
So the reasoning for them to play Saturday or Sunday is what? Just so they can have them all in one venue?
They're having it all in one venue. Years ago, before they just used one venue, they used to use Brown. They used Cranston Stadium. I think they could use URI. They've used Bryant in the past.
Right. Yeah, there's ways they can do that.
PS Field.
What do people aren't going to go to every Super Bowl game?
Not too many people do.
There's one in Cranston and there's one in Johnson, and I can't make them. They don't do that. You're going to support your school, so you're going to go to that game. You're not going to go all 4 Super Bowl games in one day, unless you're a football junkie, which you might be, but.
Which Maggio is.
Which I've done before.
Well, yeah, but normally they could get away and do that. Well, we'll see.
Oh, I just, I don't want to beat that dead horse, but I just think 7 or 8 game schedule is not a full league schedule, and just play 10 games like you used to. Do it the way of old.
Well, that's a discussion. That we
But
had.
Thanksgiving Day to me it means a lot. This is at Charahoe. This is my third different Thanksgiving rivalry.
Oh, wait a minute. You've been there 3 years. Is that what you said?
No, this is my
This is your
fourth. My fourth.
And you played 3 different teams already?
No. I've coached in 3 different Thanksgiving rivalries. I had the Wesley
Oh,
Stone.
no, all right,
I
okay.
coached in. I coached in the.
I thought you said you played 3 different
No,
rivals.
the West Warwick Coventry, and now Charahoe and East Greenwich. I think probably it's 3 different kind of Thanksgiving Day games. You had one that was really intense. The Wesley Stonington game. It's a big build up to that game. The big rivalry. You know, you really dislike each other until the game's over, and then once the game's over, you know you're friends again. You had the West Warwick Coventry game. I don't think those people like each other at any time.
No.
And now at Charahoe, you know, my first year at Charahoe, trying to explain really a Thanksgiving Day game to the guys, because they've had so many different Thanksgiving Day games.
You can't explain it. What you have to do is experience. Go
Yes.
to the game. If you go to the game and just see what, you know, when people, I mean, I can remember years ago when there might have been 5, 6, 7,000 people at that game. I mean, I can remember they had people who had step ladders where they get up.
Step ladders, yeah.
Everything to watch the game.
I can
It was
remember
that
them in the
crowded.
trees.
Yeah, it was unbelievable, and I think it's tapered off. You know that part of it, but the rivalry part is still there.
Yeah. The
It's just that I think right now there's so much more going on, too, that people may go away, they're not in the area. Ways and means of watching or listening to the game where you didn't have it before.
well,
We're lucky in this area because we had a guy that actually ran the radio station that was a sports freak, Carl Grand. So, I mean, he had us doing football and basketball games all over the 2 states here, Connecticut and Rhode Island. So we were lucky, and I say everybody that lives here, Carl would do any of the games that we could get to.
well,
So that's got something to do with it,
Yeah,
too.
definitely.
I think a little distracted from the Wesley Stonington game is when Charahoe became a school and didn't have football. All of a
What was
sudden,
it before?
well, when they became a school in the '60s, all those people went to
It
Wesley.
was an open lot. They were selling grass up
Yeah,
there.
but they went to Wesley or South
yeah, I
Kingstown.
know.
So those people,
You're just I'm going to punish you because you're not staying till 7. So get used to it.
those people were used to going to the Wesley Stonington game. They would be there every year because they experienced it. Some of them played in the game. Some of them experienced the rallies, the game itself. Then when Charahoe started football up again, now those people moved over, started watching the Charahoe game. Their children or their grandchildren were involved with Charahoe football. So you lost some of them people.
Yeah.
They're not going to the game anymore.
Well, they might be going to the game. They're going to another game.
Yeah. No, you know, there have been a bunch of things that
But don't forget,
have taken the crowd away.
with the media the way it is now, and I mentioned Carl with ERI, then you got Ben with 321 Media that covers almost every game there is, but he'll be doing the game, and I think this is the first year in a long time that's maybe the only place you can see the game or hear the game is this year, and thanks to Ben Barber. I hate to say that. He's listening, isn't he?
Well,
She's listening, right, Kaylee? Yeah.
well,
Shout out, Ben.
the other big thing about this game for me is I've had the ability to play in it, coach it, and broadcast it. I did 1 year. I helped you out 1 year. And that's something that not too many people have done.
You let him do that with you?
You just stumbled into the booth. That's
you
what
must have been
happened.
really desperate.
No, we were crowded. It was over at Stonington in that little booth.
Well, yeah, it is small.
That is pretty special. Not many people can say that. I'm sure.
Coach Ojiri, Coach Young, Coach Morano. I think those are the only other guys I know have done that.
Bob Canty.
No, but I mean, done
Oh,
all of it. Player, coach, and broadcast it. And, take a lot of pride in it where, it's a lot of people don't get that kind of experience or opportunity. And, thanks to Chris that year doing the games and helping you out. But, Thanksgiving has always meant something special to me. And I kind of like, last year I'm on the bus ride home from East Greenwich and I'm listening to the game. It was something nice. Yeah.
what?
I said it was something nice.
Yeah.
Well, hey, we got two very important coaches who just showed up
Yeah.
from the Westerly Bulldogs.
Why don't we take a break?
Yeah, we
and
can
we'll-
take a break.
Yeah. Let us take a break, and then we'll come back here to Hilltop, and we'll talk to a couple of coaches.
Oh, let's go down to Toscanos. Men shop downtown Westerly, where style and class go hand in hand. You can look your best and dress to please. Buy the right shoe, get the left one free. And if Paulie makes fun of you, you get an even bigger discount too. Toscano's Men's Shop since 1911.
Trusted Choice agents are in every Rhode Island community. They are your neighbors and friends who deliver the right policy at the right price from America's top insurance companies.
At Woodman C Insurance, we have been serving our clients and our community for over 60 years. By combining the level of personal attention you desire with the expertise you deserve, we develop an insurance portfolio designed to meet the specific needs of your family or business. And when the people who protect us need protecting, they trust Woodman C Insurance. Come put the Woodman C Insurance team to work for you.
Oh, let's go down to Toscanos. Men shop downtown Westerly, where style and class go hand in hand. You can look your best and dress to please. Buy the right shoe, get the left one free. And if Paulie makes fun of you, you get an even bigger discount too. Toscano's Men's Shop since 1911.
Trusted Choice agents are in every Rhode Island community. They are your neighbors and friends who deliver the right policy at the right price from America's top insurance companies.
At Woodman C Insurance, we have been serving our clients and our community for over 60 years. By combining the level of personal attention you desire with the expertise you deserve, we develop an insurance portfolio designed to meet the specific needs of your family or business. And when the people who protect us need protecting, they trust Woodman C Insurance. Come put the Woodman C Insurance team to work for you.
Welcome back to Flashback number 33. 33 years we've been doing this.
Ronnie, you're not
program.
even 33 yet, are you?
Yes, I am. Getting old, 43. Yes.
We are at Hilltop, and if you want to stop by, try some of that famous pizza and other food here that Dave has. We got a couple of coaches that are going to be doing something in a couple of days. Already done something a couple of days ago, so it's going to be a quick turnaround. We got Ron, coach of the Bulldogs, Ron Spazzato, and Jordan Usero with us right now. So we were just discussing the fact that it's quick. You guys played Saturday. Congratulations, by the way, on the win.
Sunday.
And
Yeah.
Sunday, right? And then you got to come right back and play on Thursday. Now, Dan, we were talking before, and he said, how come maybe if they move the Super Bowl to Friday or Thursday or Friday night instead of waiting till Sunday, it would give
Yeah,
you guys
because
a couple more days.
the Division One game was Friday, Saturday, but it ended up raining. But Saturday would have been the perfect day. You get the most people there probably, and during the day at this time of year, with the good weather, that's probably the best time to play. But it did rain a little bit on Saturday, so everything worked out on Sunday for us.
Yes, certainly
But
did.
the turnaround, it's definitely a lot different than what we're used to because, we're used to over a week and a half to prepare, and it just seems like it's so long, and we just can't wait for the game to start. Where in this year it's totally different. We watched film yesterday, and that was it because it would be like a Saturday for us. And then today, there's still some people banged up they'll all expect to play Thursday, but we're letting them rest and. So we did some things outside, some tackling stations today, some, concepts on air, a little short team period and alignment defensively. And, it's more mental than these 2 days. Because tomorrow we're going to do our regular pregame. So hopefully they're running around and moving around fast to each station and kind of, getting out of there. But it's a big difference in the preparation.
So do you guys get a mental break too? I mean,
Never.
It does not feel like Thanksgiving week to me because usually, like I said, you have so much time, and by the end of the preparation, it's like can we get this game going? Where we have a lot to do. We have a lot of our we were just talking how our play sheets and our wristbands all need to get done, and we still got the rally tomorrow. We got another practice, so probably a lot doing tonight.
Now, Ron, we were talking before you guys got on the air that what my job was in beginning of my tenure at Westerly was going out and scouting. Now it's easier now with the video and everything, but you were probably on one of the best scout team ever.
Yeah.
You were a sophomore. Your sophomore year, right?
The 96 St. Ray's game, I was a freshman and then sophomore for the South Kingston.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
But we played scout.
these guys played scout team. They played the other team to a T. And if it wasn't for your bench doing that, you guys wouldn't be as successful.
Yeah, and in the rosters where the school size was almost doubled back then. It was probably like around 1050, 1100 when I was in high school. It actually got a little bigger in the early 2000s, but there was a lot of competition on those teams. Like my freshman year for away games, we didn't even dress till Thanksgiving, but we practiced with them up for the Super Bowl and Thanksgiving. And that's why we're on the scout team. But also, even sophomore year, I didn't see the field once, and we had great running backs. I mean, Jacob Lamb was on that team, and Eric Gatchon. And I remember losing to South Kingston during the regular season by about 40 points. Mike Wilson was South Kingston's running back. It was probably the one and only time I heard Coach Reed swear like in a football setting. And but we played him in the Super Bowl, and it was an amazing game. It was much closer. I think they only won by a touchdown.
Yeah,
it was like 13-6.
Yeah, the kid broke.
Yep.
Johnson broke out of the pile.
I remember that name, Wilson. I remember him.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so but yeah, having such a small roster, we have 36 kids dressing, for practice, and that's if nobody's hurt actually. So having a good scout team, we actually we sent the younger guys off on their own with a couple of coaches learning South Kingston's wing T for about 15, 20 minutes for a couple of days to kind of try to get them a little more knowledge about it and get them running a little quicker. Because having a good scout team is definitely very, very helpful. It makes a huge difference. It keeps the upperclassmen kind of on their toes too, because all of a sudden the kid's going hard that we want the scout team to. It makes them go harder. So.
Now, how about some of your prior Thanksgiving Day moments?
Yeah. So the early on in my high school career, before I saw much of the field. Freshman year, we got to dress, and obviously that was a Super Bowl team. I remember, I know Luke Arnold probably scored 2 or 3 touchdowns, and I know we were up pretty big, 21-0 first quarter, and kind of cruised to that win. Same thing sophomore year, and then junior year, started getting some playing time. I was starting running back my junior year, and losing to Stonington like on our field in the rain. With a late touchdown, who I still think he was out of bounds in the end zone, but they beat us 7-0 junior year. So coming back my senior year, that's pretty much all we talked about is especially with them sliding on our field after they won in the rain, and and then on my senior year it also rained again. So this was like perfect for us, right? We got to win on their field, and we'll be slip and sliding through the field as well. We ended up tying. They definitely were the favorites in that game. Because Coach Bonacor's first year there. It was the first year kind of throwing the ball a lot, and I remember him bringing in some players from New London that were living with their coaches.
No, that stuff doesn't happen.
We played a great game though. I mean, we were up 14-0, and they came back a little bit. I remember we had a punt, bad snap, or the punt got blocked, and they took over on our 2, so they had a quick little score there to get back in the game. And then they missed somewhat of a long field goal at the last couple seconds running off the clock, and we ended up tying. Jordan's heard the story a million times. We always joke about it, with the coaches. But it's the last tie that actually can happen because we played in Stonington. Rhode Island had overtime in '99, but Connecticut didn't get it until 2000. So, there can't be any more ties anymore, and, we'll be the last one. But it was a weird feeling time, to be honest with you. It kind of felt like a loss. I had a great game, I won the MVP, but it definitely in my head, it almost felt like a loss. But yeah, it was. I still remember a lot of those plays, like all these other players probably do. So
we're talking to head coach of the Bulldogs, Ron Spazzato, one of the assistant coaches, Jordan Usero. Now, before we get to Coach Moreno, we'll just come in. Now, Jordan, tell me your feelings any football game, because you got a couple of interests that are running around down on that field. How's that feel?
Yeah, it feels pretty great. I mean,
little nerves.
Yeah, there's some nerves, but once the game starts, it's like I've got enough stuff outside of them to focus on that. I kind of lose it until in the game on Sunday when that touchdown happened. It's kind of a moment where it's like, oh yeah, my 2 boys are out there at a really special moment. But again, they put a lot of work in. It's a great time to have 3 of us on the same team, and it's such a bonding thing for us, and really special.
Yeah.
And Jordan and Mike Contrario are defensive coordinators, and such a huge difference between early in the game and the second half. And he can kind of probably maybe speak a little bit on the adjustments he made, and that fourth quarter was probably one of the best defensive performances I've seen, especially in a Super Bowl or a playoff game in a long time. That game was extremely close, and in a matter of seconds, we put the game away, and we went from unsure of what was going to go on to being very confident with 3 minutes left. So it's such we made a great adjustments, and what a great second half we had.
Yeah, it was a little stressful at the beginning there. We came out. We wanted to pack the box. We knew that we needed to sell out for the run. If we get them to pass the ball, we were in good shape. And we went to an on front that game, typically in that even front, and we just weren't getting the edge pressure that we needed and force, and we weren't filling, and they were getting that toss outside. Once they got out there, I mean, it was number 7, such a tough runner. We were in trouble. So we made some adjustments at halftime, went back to some of the things that we do well, changed some of the alignment, safeties especially, and to, outside backers. And the kids kind of took it at halftime, understood what the task was at hand, what we needed to do, what they were doing well and beating us on. And you know, they turned it around the second half. You started to see we got some pressure. We got some force and started making some tackles in the backfield, and then the energy built. And then, you know, kind of, you know, other than that one broken run, 71-yard run, I think it was, by the Sullivan kid, you know, they did a great job. And then when when it was 24-21, that sack when quarterback rolled out, we knew they needed to throw. They started to press a little bit and wanted to throw the ball a little bit. And that sack by Damon Uva on the backside and knocking their quarterback out, who came in with a thumb injury. And then subsequently Calvin Hill, or Chubb Hill, the sack that he had. I mean, that's when things really started to turn and we started to feel good.
So that's a big thing too. Is people don't realize that halftime is not just, you know, you get a chance to rest. You're making some adjustments, and that turned that game around.
And usually we don't make a ton of adjustments. To be honest with you, like we'll talk, and you know, it's much different. Like I remember compared to when I was a player, I know Coach Reed would be right on the board figuring out their front. Because we have huddle assists now, we already know what the defense is in, and we don't have to rely on the play, because some of these players are on the field the whole game. They never come out, so we don't get a chance to talk to them very much. So at halftime, just before huddle assist, you had to figure out exactly what they were in. You know, sometimes you can't figure everything out from up top. You know, it's a different angle. But with huddle assist, we can see what they're doing already. And you know, we've had some pretty good first halves too, but we've also had some pretty bad first halves. But yeah, we don't make a ton of adjustments anymore. But that game we definitely had to, and you know, some days it's more apparent that we need to make adjustments than others. Now that today, Sunday actually was definitely one of the ones where we made some adjustments. So
when you made them do something they don't like to do, they were in trouble.
All right, what about Thursday? Tell me about
Thursday,
Stonington.
So they kind of switched things up a little bit offensively from the beginning of the season until now. They were a little more of like a heavier run with two backs under center for a little bit, and we've noticed later in the season they were more spread out, similar to what they've been doing the last couple of years with, you know, trying to get the ball out of the quarterback's hands quickly, and you know, they're running some inside zone reads, you know, out of pistol and everything. So very similar to the last couple of years, and you know, having a short week, we pretty much just need to play fundamental defense and tackle. You know what I mean? Tackling and is how we're going to win the game. And it just really comes down to the basics. And you know, that by having a short week, and that's pretty much all we're going to do, because we're not going to hit very much this week. We're really focused on basics and mental part of the game plan. So just got to get the basics done, tackle, block, and hopefully we'll be all right.
Have you seen them play? Have you guys seen them?
Live? No,
we haven't seen live, but like Coach said, with Huddle now, and we see
4, 3, 2, 1.
We have probably 6 of their games. So we got a pretty good idea, game plan, like Coach said. Like he said today was about like the tackling circuits and run fits and just kind of getting back to the basics and playing our game.
And alignment, you know, you just got to align properly. Like alignment defensively, you align properly is probably like 80% of defense. Because if you're watching film, you know, Coach here definitely knows that a lot of touchdowns or broken plays that they have explosive plays on, there's a good chance you're misaligned or someone went the wrong way.
It's a broken play.
Yeah, you take that out and you align properly and do your assignments exactly how it should be. You know, that's most of playing defense, and then it's up to the players at that point to execute.
Yeah, I just not having a lot of time to prepare. That's what I would be nervous about.
Yeah,
because you know, I had said it earlier. This game means a lot to not just the team, but to almost everyone. You know, former players, former coaches. This game means a lot.
Oh yeah.
And hopefully everything falls into place with the limited time. But you guys got a handle on it where, I think film really helps kids being able to see them playing.
Yeah.
Because we never had the opportunity as players, because we're always playing on that day. Jim, you didn't have it when you were a player. How many times you saw him live?
When I was a player,
Yeah,
never saw.
never.
Yeah, never.
Never saw.
But now with the film and everything.
Yeah, because I was told like traditionally you guys didn't.
We didn't
film.
we didn't exchange film.
And I'm pretty sure that only started when Dwayne Miranda was coach. I think that was the first time ever that you guys. That
Well, we
they
never
started-
exchanged.
Yeah,
film
no.
when I was coaching.
And I got to be honest with you, kind of like a tradition. I wait for them to initiate it, but I'll always do it. But I've waited. I actually didn't think they were going to trade this year because they didn't initiate anything, and I guess Coach Masco was being respectful and waiting until after the Super Bowl, and he did it right away on
Sunday night.
Saturday night. Yep. So
Yeah, we used to, at the conclusion of our last regular season game, whenever that was, Billy used to have to pack a suitcase, and I'd send them all over Connecticut. And I told him, "Don't come back. Don't come." Well, I told him not to come back. He couldn't come back into Westerly until he had at least 6 films.
and
So sometimes he didn't come back for a week or so.
and I know how the the alumni and everyone feels in town that to a lot of people this game is more important than our game on Sunday. So
I said something like that earlier, and
I've been preaching though to these guys. It's the second Super Bowl in
Yes.
4 days. These guys have an opportunity to play 2 Super Bowls in 4 days. It's going to have a very similar feel. There probably could be even more people, probably more people here Thursday, and it's going to be a great feel. And it's almost like these younger guys. We do have some freshmen playing. We got guys that never played football before starting. That playing in that Super Bowl definitely gave them some experience about playing in a big game and in front of a big crowd. And I think it's really going to help early in the game on Thursday.
Yeah, I think that always helped our Super Bowl teams playing Thanksgiving in front of that huge crowd, so they got used to it. Now you're doing it the reverse.
Yeah, and the players, the coaches, we're coaching as if it's another Super Bowl. I think some people are a little nervous that we might be, taking it off a little bit and kind of taking them for granted, but we are definitely not. And we expect to come out and play one of our best games of the year on Thursday.
You're right, Ronnie. I would say 75% of the people that are going to come to the game on Thursday, I won't say they could care less that you won the Super Bowl, but you are 100% correct that the Stonington Wesley game is more important than winning the Super Bowl because the majority of those people never were in a Super Bowl.
Correct.
Very few people have had the opportunity to play in a Super Bowl. If you do have that opportunity, you realize that it is just as important. I don't want to say it's more important, but they are different.
Yep.
But it takes on a whole different life of its own. And to be able to play before the Thanksgiving Day game, I think it's going to help you.
Yes.
I know when we played our three Super Bowls when I coached, we played the Thanksgiving Day game before. We won 2 of them. We lost 1 of them. But even the one we lost, it was one of the best Thanksgiving Day games ever. That was the 91 game, Ken. Both Stonington and Wesley went to the Super Bowl, and we both were fortunate enough to win a state championship. But that type of atmosphere and being on TV that day on ABC News, the hype of if Stonington beats Wesley, they have an opportunity to go to the playoffs. I mean, that whole environment, I think, prepared our kids for the Super Bowl. And the fact that we lost, we were so determined to win that Super Bowl. It was very similar to your game. We came out, we were behind at halftime against Narragansett. And then we just turned it on in the second half, and they couldn't stop us, and we stopped them. I was thinking that watching your game, very similar. And that's why I said last night that the toughest thing for your guys to do was to hang in there the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Because they came so close, and we experienced that, Billy, with the 91 team because we came 1 game from going to the Super Bowl 4 years in a row, but we didn't get there. So when we did get there, there was no way we were going to be denied, and I could sense that with your team. Even when they got behind, the things weren't going well. They worked so hard over 4 years to get to where you got Sunday that there was no way that South Kingston was going to take that away from you.
Yeah, and you gotta talk to your former players over the last couple of years that helped all these kids win this year, because it's not just 1 year.
Yep.
It's the guys that taught some of these guys in the pits.
Yep. Yeah, like
2 years.
my first year as the head coach, a lot of first-year varsity players that year as well. Like it was Landon's freshman year, Calvin Hill's freshman year. We it's kind of like we kind of came up to this together, and like Luke Nelson was a senior on that first team, and he really helped the receivers out, especially someone like Jake Karen, that's a senior this year. Who else we had? We had Andre Adams, that was a tremendous defensive end for us, and Rico Sposato, some of the linemen. So over the last few years, and I've been involved in so many semifinal games. Even Coach, he's been with us for a handful of years, and he's been into some semifinal games that we've lost. But it seems like over the last 10 years, we've had to at least been the 6 that we've lost in. Because of that, we've had so many depressing endings of the seasons that I was like, all right, this has to end sometime. We got to something's got to change, and we got to get over this hump. And it's a priority that we, in the off-season meetings with the players, that we told them this has to be a priority for you in the off-season, in season. If you make the team a priority, the good things are going to happen. That because the first goal was a state championship, and to do that, it has to be a priority for everybody. And the players put so much time in this past off-season. Barely took a week or 2 off. I think we started lifting early first week of December. So this has been a long time coming, and the players put so much work into it. They deserve so much credit, and they performed all season long. So,
And of course, the seniors, Super Bowl is not guaranteed. As you know, as you just alluded to, the Thanksgiving Day game is. And
Yep.
if you lose, they're going to be on your schedule the next year. And if you win, you're going to have to defend that victory the following year. You're going to have to validate it. So to turn the tables around a little bit, I don't think there's going to be I don't think it's a secret to anyone that Wesley should be favored on Thanksgiving morning, which means absolutely nothing. And I'm sure that there's different motivation now for Stonington, because certainly they want to come away with a win, which they haven't been able to do in the last several years. That's motivation enough, number one, especially for the seniors. Number two, they have a chance to put a cherry on the top of their season by beating the Division II state champions from Rhode Island, which it goes a long way for bragging rights. So I think it's going to be even more difficult for you in your not in your preparation, but in the overall mindset of the players against a team that you're going to have 2 bullseyes on your back.
Yeah.
The fact that you beat them the last couple of years, probably favored, and the fact that you just won a Super Bowl. And I know your players will not take Stonington for granted. I know it's not going to be a trap game. They'll come out and they'll play, like they played Sunday. So, but I think for Stonington, it's going to be a whole different mindset.
Yeah, and what Ron, what you're going to have to get your kids is to match their intensity early to keep that wave from getting by you.
Yeah, and I definitely know the feeling, because in our first game of the season this year, we played a Massachusetts defending state champion, and we all summer, that's all we talked about. And I can imagine how much more to Stonington, it's the exact same thing for them, but even on a bigger scale, and being so close and being a rivalry. I know that us being a champion and them having an opportunity to beat us is a great opportunity for them. Like it could make their season. It could change the whole thing for them. So I know how big of a game it is and how much they want to win this.
Yeah, so it's probably going to be harder for you guys to make sure your team is ready.
Oh yeah.
Like Jim said, with Stonington now, they've
been working on you for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they were rooting for you on Sunday, because
I saw some of the coaches there.
they didn't want to play you if you had lost on Sunday.
Yeah, and I mean, and part of it would be injuries too. Like where everyone that played Sunday is expected to play Thursday. But that's the one thing we were kind of worried about. Like anything could happen. If we played a great game, win or lose on Sunday, we could have lost 4 or 5 starters because of injury, and then this game could totally change. You know what I mean? So nothing's for granted, and we knew that as coaches too, that that could happen. But luckily on this turnaround, we have some bumps and bruises, soreness. But that's normal. Everyone should be ready to go. So
That's what I was just going to ask you. We had a couple minutes left before we take a break at the top of the hour. Any superstitions?
Not a little bit. I try not to. It's kind of funny because I don't really believe in it, but I definitely do things.
Yeah, I know we don't believe in them.
The last few weeks, I've worn my Bulldog defense T-shirt under my blue. Since probably halfway through last year, I wear blue on blue every game. I do go to my father's grave before every game as well. So that's something I do as well. So
yeah,
even though I try not to believe in it, but obviously I must because I do the same. I do some things that
I know.
I have to.
People always say that. Well, yeah, I don't believe in that anyhow. But
yeah,
but you do something. Something.
We definitely all have them. I've got a couple myself.
Oh, go ahead.
I go every game day. I go get a haircut from Carlos. It's a game day haircut.
Really?
Every week. Even so Carlos on Sunday opened up at 8 a.m. He closed on Sundays. He opened up for Coach Inchuri and I to get our game day cut.
Ken, you don't have to worry about that.
Oh, and another thing with Carlos too. I think it was the second game of the season because we have a coaches text chat, and I think for the first game of the season against Situate, Mass, I think I was the one who said happy game day. I waited on the next week. Carlos was the first to say, and we won. And I said, Carlos, just say it you're the one, you can text it every week to everybody. So he still does it every since then. So. And
before we take a break, Coach, when you were coaching?
One of them.
There was a lot of them
he had a lot of them, but the last one that before I went to bed on the night before Thanksgiving, I called Kenny, and we chatted, and he asked me 1 or 2 questions, the same question every year. Everything all set? Anybody hurt? We ready to go? The answer was always yes, yes, yes. Okay, see you tomorrow. And that was the end of a string of kind of some of the routines that we had over the last couple of days before the Thanksgiving Day game. And one of them had to do with the rally down at the post office when we talked about that. My players couldn't go, but the coaches all went. And Ken was doing the radio show then across the street where Wesley Jewelry is. And I always had to stop by and just say hi. And then he would nod to me and he would put the microphone down and say, I'll wait for your phone call. So, yeah, we did that. And before we take a break, what's that? It's not an app, but that electronic assistant you use?
Huddle. Yeah.
Huddle what?
Huddle assist.
Huddle assist is the live during the game, so we could run a play,
and know.
Box, we can see what we just made.
Jim,
they could have had that 20 years.
Jim,
I will say there's a lot
we
of
would have won a lot more games, Kenny, if I had that.
Some weeks there's a lot of problems, and we got to troubleshoot things. It's a lot. It's a pain, not to be honest with you, but it is well worth it when it's working.
All right.
So.
All right, coach of the Bulldogs and a couple of coaches of the Bulldogs here tonight. We have to take a break. We're at Hilltop. Stop by and say hi and have some of the fine food and beverage of your choice. We'll be back with more of Flashback number 33.
Oh, let's go down to Toscanos. Men's shop downtown Westerly, where style and class go hand in hand. You can look your best and dress to please. Buy the right shoe, get the left one free. And if Paulie makes fun of you, you get an even bigger discount too. Toscano's Men's Shop since 1911.
Trusted Choice agents are in every Rhode Island community. They are your neighbors and friends who deliver the right policy at the right price from America's top insurance companies.
At Woodmansee Insurance, we have been serving our clients and our community for over 60 years. By combining the level of personal attention you desire with the expertise you deserve, we develop an insurance portfolio designed to meet the specific needs of your family or business. And when the people who protect us need protecting, they trust Woodmansee Insurance. Come put the Woodmansee Insurance team to work for you.
With an end zone view.
Wow.
Sometimes we have a third view, but we can watch, we can see the gaps.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go down to Toscanos. Men's shop downtown Westerly, where style and class go hand in hand. You can look your best and dress to please. Buy the right shoe, get the left one free. And if Paulie makes fun of you, you get an even bigger discount too. Toscano's Men's Shop since 1911.
Trusted Choice agents are in every Rhode Island community. They are your neighbors and friends who deliver the right policy at the right price from America's top insurance companies.
At Woodmansee Insurance, we have been serving our clients and our community for over 60 years. By combining the level of personal attention you desire with the expertise you deserve, we develop an insurance portfolio designed to meet the specific needs of your family or business. And when the people who protect us need protecting, they trust Woodmansee Insurance. Come put the Woodmansee Insurance team to work for you.
Good luck, Ronnie.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We are live here from a Hilltop Cafe for the Flashback program. We're going on for 33 years strong now. Ken's on a phone call real quick. He had to call his loving wife, Hazel. We love Hazel. Best grandma out there. I had to make sure to shout her out. I don't know if she's listening or not, but hey, if she is, I wanted to shout her out. I'm sitting down with someone who I just met for the first time last night. And, my grandpa had talked a lot about you. And it was a pleasure to be able to talk with you a little bit last night at the banquet dinner. Jim Morano. And you were kind of alluding to it, but this game means a lot, right?
It certainly does. I mean, there are people that have been going to the game their whole life. I'm one of them. I think I started when I was about 10 years old. And I know that there were women who have always stayed home on Thanksgiving morning because they had to prepare for Thanksgiving dinner, but they always listened to it on the radio. And now they can watch it on 321 Media. It's just a tradition that on Thanksgiving morning it's Westerly Stonington. I've been involved with other schools that play a Thanksgiving Day game, and actually I was speaking to one of the coaches of North Kingston today, and he's really disappointed because they're playing their rival South Kingston tomorrow night. They're not playing Thanksgiving morning. They're playing Wednesday evening.
Well, that came up a little bit
And
earlier.
he said it's not the same. He's very disappointed that they moved that from Thanksgiving morning to Wednesday night. But it's always been the same between Wesley and Stonington. Hopefully it'll always stay the same. And it's in your blood. Like I can speak from personal experience. It's ingrained. I said last night it's the best week of the year for me. I look forward to all these events, and the hype. Can't wait for Thanksgiving morning. And then after that, I know I enjoyed the turkey a lot more after I gave up coaching, win or lose, because you're just so exhausted. But it's just a way of life. And for some people, if they ever took that away, they wouldn't know what to do. I mean, the year that we had COVID and we didn't play the game, that was terrible. Everybody was, what are we doing on Thanksgiving morning? Leading up to there not being a game. I mean, it just seems so odd.
I know.
And we really missed it. There was a void.
Yeah.
So, to answer your question, I think the importance of this game is that there probably aren't very many other things between the two towns, both collectively and individually, that go on through the year that ranked higher than this in importance.
Well, definitely. And, it was just such an honor for me to be able to attend the banquet last night, just because that's probably the first and last time I'll ever even get to go to that banquet. And you could just feel in the room, like, obviously rivals on the field, right? But I just think it's so cool that everyone can come down, sit down at a banquet and have a good time before the game too, because at the end of the day, everyone there is family. They all love football, right? Yep. And I think that's what really is special about it. You go out, you fight your hardest on the field, but then you see, something like that where, you not only have the coaches, but you have the captains, you have administrators there. Both principals were there last night. A superintendent was there last night. And it was just really special for me to be able to be a part of that. And I thank everyone for allowing, a Charahoe kid. I know I was probably an outsider there, like, oh, Charahoe, right? But it was so cool being able to experience that last night.
It was great that you were there to see that, because if you're not from Wesley or Stonington, you don't really get that opportunity.
Exactly.
And we won't give away your grandfather's age, but
you guys guessed the wrong age last night. We won't say what the age was.
I was correct on the under. They had an over that I did not agree with. I wasn't sure exactly what it was.
Thank
I
you.
was correct on the under. But
Good.
anyways,
we'll blame Stenhouse instead.
Yeah, correct. And he was adamant that he knew how old your grandfather was, but he wasn't even close. So, you know how important it is to your grandfather, because he's been involved in his way for so many years. And I just heard him say this Flashback show has been doing it for 33 years.
33.
What has been going on in Westerly on the radio or in the media for 33 years?
Just sports open mic has been longer.
I can't think of it. Right.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that people got hooked because of the media coverage for Thanksgiving Day game. I was just telling your grandson how so many moms used to listen to the radio on Thanksgiving morning because they have to be home cooking, preparing for Thanksgiving dinner. And if it wasn't on the radio, they were very upset.
Yeah.
They kind of kept it going, and that importance of them being able to share into the game by being home, cooking the meal, but still listening to the ball game. They didn't put on the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade. They put on whether WERI, WBLQ. They wanted to listen to the game.
Yeah.
And then, because the table that we were at last night, I mean, there were two gentlemen there in their 80s, two of us in our 70s, one in the 60s, and all of us said the same thing, basically, so we all had a chance to speak to the players, that we wouldn't have missed this for the world, and how happy we were to be there. And it doesn't get old. I mean, we've done it a million times, but it doesn't get old. And you get juiced up. You get the adrenaline flowing, and you just, if you're not part of it, you miss out. I was in Florida a couple of years, and I missed out on the Rotary dinner. And I told my wife, no more. You can stay, but I'm coming home so that I don't miss the Monday night dinner between the Wesley and Stonington Rotaries, because I think that is so special. And it's great to have an opportunity to meet and see those kids and look in their eyes and see the anticipation and the excitement, knowing that they're going to be playing in this game. And I think a little bit after we speak to them, the word's not fear, but I think that it's almost like, wow, I know how big it is for them, but I don't know if they realize how big it is for the entire community. I don't know if they've lived long enough to be part of that. Just like I said last night when we talked about the rally, they may not have ever even experienced that. They may not have been old enough. I'm not sure, based on the last time the rally was in existence at the post office steps. So they might not have even known what I was talking about or referring to. So to see them be able to share some of our experiences throughout the years, and have them maybe ask questions after what was that about, or this is really important to me. That says a lot.
Well, I said it 1,000 times that I've never played, so this is my part of it, and I wouldn't miss it unless I have to, unless I had to. But I think one year when I didn't broadcast the game, I was 2012 when I had the cancer, and I was finishing up radiation, I think, and I said I'm going to go up to the field. Gary's doing the game. I said, but I'm not going up to the press box. I want to go on the field. I want to see the coaches. So I go on the field. I saw the coaches on the field, talked to them for a while, and then I just turned around and I just looked at the crowd because I've never seen it from midfield to see how many people were actually at the game. Because you're in the press box, you get there early. We used to get there at 8:30 to go on at 9 o'clock. So I never got a chance to see what it looks like being on that field. And I can imagine once you stop playing with the fans rooting you on and everything like that. That was just a special moment for me just to be on the field. I went home and I listened to the game on the radio. But I wanted to experience that part of it. But it's been fun. It really has. I tried to retire. I 4 or 5 times, but it
Keeps
doesn't
calling you
work.
back. Mike, it's like a magnet to you.
Just like Al Pacino in The Godfather. Just when you thought you were out, they pulled you back in.
We were talking like Rona was here, and I didn't get a chance to put Rona Mann, who does a program on 321 Media, got me to do the MCing at the Rotary, and I didn't want to do it. I don't like to get up in front of people. And she kept bugging me, and I said, "Well, I'm in now. I got to do it." So I called on you first, and then I think Nick come up and talk.
Yes.
So while Nick's talking, I'm sitting there and I'm saying, "Well, I got to make my next move, right? Who is it going to be?" So I said, I didn't know how. I don't know how to do it, and I said, "I got to keep now. I got to do the coaches." So I said, "Well, now AJ and Ronnie are down at the other end of the hall." So I said, "Now they got to come all the way down here, and it's the same old thing that you do which is fine." So I said, "You know what? I'm gonna go down there." So I said to myself when I started down, I said, "Well, now I got to figure out what I'm going to say on the way down." So now I'm headed for AJ, and I remembered the field goal. I said, "Well, this is perfect to talk about that. Going to go talk to him," and it was just weird to do it, but then it was like it was just a natural thing for me to do it that way, and luckily it worked out anyhow. But a lot of things that you do, people think that you might plan for it, but you're better off to just do whatever. I've tried it all those ways, writing things down. Here's what I'm going to do, but it never comes out that way. You just ad lib everything, and I think that's better.
Well, Ken, and you and I had that conversation once we got back to your house last night. And sometimes the best things happen when you're just your authentic self, right? You're not going in there with like a certain script or anything like that. You might have some idea of like what you want to kind of say, right? But the best things go unscripted. They really do. And just want to say again, you did an excellent job there last night. It was an honor to be able to be there with you. And just a very, very special moment for me. And we should mention that everyone there last night did a great job speaking as well. The rest of the former players, the coaches did a great job. Administrators did a great job. Greg Howard as well hopped on the mic and did a great job. It was one of those banquets where, you go to a banquet sometimes and you're like, oh, I wish this thing was over. I didn't really want it to ever be over because I was so interested in hearing all of the stories from not only all the former players, but through all the administration and coaches as well. It really was a great night last night.
And getting not only that, experiencing that, like Dan just said, until you experience it. People can talk about it. Hey, well, we went to the Rotary thing the other night. Oh, okay, so like Dan just said, well, is that a boring thing that you do? But it's not. I've been to quite a few of them, and I think unless people go to a game too to experience it, you're not going to believe what it is until you do it. You can hear us talk for 33 years about the whole atmosphere, but until, like I just said a few minutes ago, when I went on the field to look at the crowd and see the whole picture, it was new for me. And I think when people hear us talk about it, until you experience it, if you could experience it, then you really know what we're talking about. But I mean, the thing's been going on. Look at what is it, 74, 73, and 17? I mean, how close can you get it?
And one of the great things that I look forward to is, once a year you see people you probably only see once a year.
That's another thing.
And
Yep.
You know what time they're going to show up. We usually hang out in the end zone, and both, whether it's at Stonington or at Westerly, and catch up, wish each other from both sides of the river happy Thanksgiving. And then once the game starts, everybody kind of separates. All the Stonington fans that are standing in the end zone stand on one side, and all the Westerly fans on the other. But you're right. I mean, I remember coaching and coming down that hill and seeing the stands full and the anticipation, because as we would come down the hill, they start cheering because they saw us coming down. And, it sends a chill down up your spine. And when Stonington, I'm talking about from Westerly now, when they used to come out from Babcock building, you could start hearing the roar on the other side of the field. It was special.
Yeah, it is. And you just wish that you get all excited talking about it, but you just wish that everybody could experience it in some shape or form. But I guess there's nothing like being at that particular game, and it's special. And just think of all the communities around that has nothing like this.
Well, tomorrow, I don't know if Stonington still does this, but I know Westerly. I don't know if they have school tomorrow, but Westerly has the rally.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I don't. Is it going to be? Are you going to be broadcasting the rally?
Ben usually does, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I try to attend as many of those as possible because I love it. Not to mention my daughter is the assistant cheerleading coach. So,
all right.
But the stands will be packed. Alumni, parents, grandparents, especially. And where do you ever see that?
Yeah.
At an event or an assembly at Westerly High School? Not too often.
No.
Thanksgiving Day rally, you won't be able to find a parking spot, and the bleachers will be filled, and everybody will be cheering, and it'll be terrific. Kids will be excited. To me, that's one of the special things in life that I'll always have a memory of.
Yeah.
And that's why, because I'm so passionate about trying to get the other rally back, because I think that's so important.
Well, I mentioned it last night.
Well, you did. But breaking news.
Yeah, and we just talked about it. I think it was last week on Sports Open Mic about the rally, and I mentioned it on the air. I said we got to get that rally back. The rally was. I was trying to explain that we used to get down there it was 6 to 7, I think. And we get there about 5:45, 20 minutes to 6. There was nobody in town. And then all of a sudden at 6 o'clock, you can't see the post office. And then they would, the band would come down. And then 6:45,
Everybody leave.
gone. And then at 7 o'clock, you look over at the post office. There's no one in town. So we were talking about it, and Ben is the one that told me that he could have had it this year, but he's looking for next year. He went and got permission or talked to the people involved, Ben Barber.
That'll be great because
So he said, well, next year.
it's probably going to be a joint
So
decision of approving the rally, but whoever needs to sign off on it probably should.
yeah, definitely.
When did that stop?
Oh God. Well, let me think. I know my daughter graduated high school in 2015. She was a cheerleader, and they did it in 2015. I think that might have been the last year.
About 10
So
years.
10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
about right.
Yeah, because I remember going down there and watching her,
Yeah.
and then it stopped
It's
after
just,
that.
and that's another thing that's special. You wouldn't believe it until you've seen it. You know, people say, "Well, how can that be possible?" Well, believe me, I've seen it.
And
I
people
remember the
talk-
first year that I was going to broadcast from there, and I got down there. I told you about 20 minutes to 7. 20 minutes to 6. I said, "What are we doing here? There's nobody here. What are we going to do?" And then they start trickling in, and before you know it, it was like everybody just gathered somewhere and then rushed over to the post office steps. That's how it looked to me.
I'm sure from a liability and insurance standpoint, they can figure something out. I really
Yeah.
do. I mean, there are other things that go on. I mean, there are people out there. I said this the other night. Nothing against protesters. I think they have every right to protest, but they're out there every weekend protesting
Exactly.
in front of the post office.
Right.
What happens if one of them get hurt? What happens if some nut drives by
Yeah,
and does something because he objects to them protesting?
that's right.
So why are we going to don't let things get in the way? That's the way I always looked at it. And they said, well, kids go in the park, not anyone involved with the two teams, but bystanders will go in the park and might be a fight here or there. Well, there used to be a lot of events at the YMCA, and it was always, I remember as a kid, there was always a fight in the park. Well, I don't think they stopped the events at the YMCA because there might have been a fight in the park.
Right.
So what are we doing here?
I know.
You know,
Yeah, you're right.
A healthy community event, we're going to walk away from it because something might happen, or if something does happen, we're not equipped to handle it. To me, doesn't hold water.
And I hope it does, end up coming back next year. Again, because I would want to experience that, right? I've never experienced that before. I feel like it would be a great event to be able to go to myself. And I think events like that just help to add to those big sporting events too, right? Because I'm sure a lot of the people who are going to the game are going to that rally because they care about their school so much,
Absolutely.
right? So then they're going to be even more hyped when they go to that game on Thanksgiving because they see the players. They already feel like they're, really a part of it. And it's just going to add to the game a lot, like I'm sure it did when, it was around.
Now, of course, Jim not only coached, but then after that, I got him broadcasting some of the games.
But
So
I
I've
had to
been-
pay my dues. I had to be out on the field in the cold. Well, these
Oh, yeah,
guys
he
were
wasn't
ni-
gonna do
They were
that.
nice and warm up in the bleachers. I mean, up in the press box. Him, Salo, Jerry, Pete Young.
Oh, yeah.
They had seniority on me, so they got to stay up there. But I had to earn my bones, and I had to go down on the field and freeze. But I finally made it after a few years up into the press box.
Well, I'll tell you, I've been so fortunate. I mentioned it last night that how blessed I am to even be here. But to have guys like when I started broadcasting, I said, well, let me get Sal. And by the way, Sal would have been here tonight. Him and John Solitano. John had perfect attendance, I think, until last year. And we certainly miss those guys. But I was lucky enough to get Sal and Pete Young, assistant at Stonington for quite a while. And they both said to me, what are we going to do? I just, don't worry, you guys will be fine. And it was just like clockwork when they come in and then do it for nothing, obviously. And Then Jimmy, I needed him to go on the sidelines, and like he said, he's down there nice, way up there, nice and warm. Sal and them give it to you a little bit too.
Yeah,
but but just to have guys like Jim and Sal, I mean, these guys are icons.
Yeah.
And for me, to the little guy broadcasting, it was great for me. I loved it. I mean, I had guys that actually knew the game right beside me, watching and talking and commenting, that said they couldn't do it, but they did a fine job. Believe me.
And your grandfather's right. I mean, if you listen to the game on the radio, you couldn't get a more professional broadcast on any TV station that you watch a football game on, because these guys they were excellent. And speaking of sidelines and speaking of icons, you probably may have heard of this guy, but obviously you don't remember him. His name was Joe Ruisi, and he worked for your grandfather, and he was a character. And he used to be on the sidelines, and he had a microphone, and he'd be walking up and down, and he'd be giving live feeds to your grandfather. So your grandfather, when I was coaching, asked me before the Thanksgiving Day game once, "You mind if, when you're talking on the headset, if Joe puts the microphone next to you so we can hear what you're saying?" So I said, "Okay." So I don't know how it actually played out, but I said on the headset to one of my coaches who had called down a play that we should run, that this play is probably going to go for a touchdown. It's going to be a successful play. It's going to go for a touchdown. So I don't know if Joe got on the microphone to Kenny and said to him, "Watch this next play because it's going to be a touchdown." But sure enough, we ran the play and it was a touchdown. And Joe was beside himself because he had told everybody before it actually happened that the play was going to go for a touchdown.
Well,
Well, and it goes for everything too, right? You're only as good as the people that you have around you, right? Whether it be a broadcast, whether it be coaching a football team, it takes a village, and for them to be willing to just go and do it with you too. I mean, that says a lot about them and how much they care.
yeah.
Not only about coaching and just the game in general, but they just want everyone to have a good product. And I didn't get to listen to any of those obviously because I wasn't born yet, but I'm sure a lot of people enjoyed it and are grateful for what you guys have done for Westerly.
And you know what? Full disclosure, we were a little selfish because we had the most fun. We really did. We had a lot of laughs, and we always looked forward to doing the game. And it was as much fun, if not more. It probably was more for us than it was for anyone that was listening. So I'm just grateful to have had that opportunity too. I've done it as a player. I did it as a coach, and I get to do it as a sideline reporter and a broadcaster. So it was, regardless of what hat I wore on Thanksgiving morning, it was always a tremendous amount of pleasure.
And that's special. I know we're not necessarily talking about basketball season. This is the only thing I'll bring up, but just thinking about him saying that and Coach DiMaggio saying that about the Thanksgiving Day game earlier makes me think about me and myself with the Westerly Community Credit Union tournament. I was able to play in it as a player, won it as a player. I was able to coach in it, still continue to coach in it. Was able to be a part of a team that won it as a coach. And then I broadcasted it as well. So just really special stuff. And I definitely know what you guys mean, just based off my experience with that. Never mind, the longest running rivalry in, the United States.
Interstate, right? How many years has the credit union tournament been in existence? Do you remember?
It's 40 years, I think.
40 years.
40 or 41.
41's this year.
Yeah. I was going to bring that up. The fact that it seemed like it just started.
Yeah.
And it seemed like Joe Cugini asking me, "What do you think about having a tournament in between, when there's a week or two in there where you're just practicing?" I said, "Yeah, I think it's a great idea." Little did we know that 40 some years later, it's still going on. And that's another thing.
That's the best tournament come holiday season for basketball as well. So Westerly, a part of
Wow.
two of the best when it comes to holiday season sporting events. That's for sure.
Got a lot to be thankful for, and it's a great community, and kids that have the opportunity, including Charahoe, to be part of these events and live in this community. There are other places that they just can't do this.
And one more thing before we're gonna we have to take a final break. So why don't we do that, and then we'll come back. Let's take a break right now.
Oh, let's go down to Toscanos. Men's shop downtown Westerly, where style and class go hand in hand. You can look your best and dress to please. Buy the right shoe, get the left one free. And if Paulie makes fun of you, you get an even bigger discount too. Toscano's Men's Shop since 1911.
Trusted Choice agents are in every Rhode Island community. They are your neighbors and friends who deliver the right policy at the right price from America's top insurance companies.
At Woodmansee Insurance, we have been serving our clients and our community for over 60 years. By combining the level of personal attention you desire with the expertise you deserve, we develop an insurance portfolio designed to meet the specific needs of your family or business. And when the people who protect us need protecting, they trust Woodmansee Insurance. Come put the Woodmansee Insurance team to work for you.
Welcome back, everybody. We are live here from Hilltop Cafe. Make sure you come down here. It's rated 8.2 according to Dave Portnoy on the pizza. That's a very, very high rating from the owner and founder of Barstool Sports. But Dave's a great guy over here at Hilltop. Make sure you come down, stop by. We thank him for allowing us to be able to come down and do this flashback program, which has been going on. We figured out the math. Coach Samaggio, Ken and I, we figured it out. We took out our big calculators and we figured out that it was 33 years that this program has been going on for as well. I'm sitting down with Ken Collins and Jim Morano.
So when we took a break, we talked about the credit union tournament. You said it's either 40 or 41 years.
Yeah.
So reminded me, speaking of 40 years, that going by in no time, the 1985 football team that won the Division II Super Bowl. We're having our 40th year anniversary.
That's right.
Morning. Looking forward to that. Perfect 12-0 season. Played 12 games. Just alluded to the fact that we were 12-0. We gave up 27 points that whole year on defense in 12 games. We've got 5 of the players that are in the Hall of Fame. 4 of them went on to play college football. 2 played for one played for Brown, one played for URI. They're all very successful in life. It was just a tremendous team, and we've got almost 40 players from all over the country that are coming back for the reunion. We're going to be recognized at halftime at the Thanksgiving Day game. We're going to have a breakfast at the Bocce Club Thanksgiving morning in memory of Vero Marone, who was one of my assistants. Yep. His son Kevin was on that team. And then the following evening, Friday night, we're going to have a get-together at the Calabrese Club.
Oh, that's nice.
So really looking forward to seeing some of the guys. A lot of them I haven't seen in 40 years, and we've been in touch. And I can tell you, when you talk about what does it mean, many of these players, as I just mentioned, went on to play college football. They've been successful in life. They've had tremendous events that have taken place beyond high school. Well, we had a group text going on Sunday when Wesley was playing in the Super Bowl. My phone was blowing up. There were so many guys that were commenting, and you could sense how important that game was to them, because they wanted Wesley to win the Super Bowl. And when we arranged this originally and said we were going to do something at a halftime of the Thanksgiving Day game, so many of them were thrilled because they haven't had a chance to see a Thanksgiving Day game, some of them in many years, because they've moved away. And they're all excited about coming back, seeing the Thanksgiving Day game. They want to know, does Wesley have a chance against Stonington? Asking all kinds of questions. So here it is, 40 years later. These guys experienced perfect season. Win against Stonington on Thanksgiving Day, and they're still excited 40 years later about coming home and rooting for the Bulldogs on Thanksgiving morning.
That's going to be nice. That's going to be great.
So, anyways, and as I mentioned last night, I don't know if you were aware of it, but that was the year, unfortunately, your grandfather had his heart attack, and it was good karma though, because it all worked out, and we won the Super Bowl, and he got back to health, and he was able to broadcast another 40 years.
Yeah, things happen, the way they're supposed to a lot of times, right? And a lot of people talked about it last night at the banquet as well. But bringing up that team, 12-0, you haven't even talked to some of them in 40 years, right? You guys got on that group text. It was probably like no time had even passed, right? When you see them, on Thursday morning, it's going to be like no time had even passed. And I just think that's the best thing about sports. I know there's a lot of other activities and groups that you can do out there, which is great. But I think there's just something different about sports, because sports, it's, any sport, you're doing physical activity. It's a lot of hard work. You got to trust the people that are on your team. And especially a sport like football, you can't do anything without all 11 people out there. Hey, in basketball, once in a while, you can get a guy who gets hot or a girl who gets hot, right? They can rattle off some points, and maybe you can get away with a little bit things on defense and stuff like that. In football, you need everyone on the team out there doing their job, because if not, then the play's screwed up. The other team's going for a touchdown, right? And I just think that's a really special thing about football and sports in general. And like I said, a lot of people talked about it last night, and I think that was a great message to give the players as well. And they'll realize it once they get a little bit older too. Those bonds that you form with teammates never really go away.
Yeah, it's the ultimate team sport.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And another good message that I can't remember who said it last night, because there were just so many great people who spoke. One person, or it might have been a couple people, alluded to the fact, and they looked directly at both the Westerly captains and the Stonington captains, and just kind of told them what they mean to the youth of the community as well.
Role model,
right? They are huge, important role models in those kids' lives, because they kind of look at them as like a Drake May or like a Will Campbell on the Patriots, right? Or their favorite player. Like that's, Landon Husero is that to somebody, or a lot of people, I should say, especially at Westerly, because of the caliber of player that he is. But a lot of those guys on that team, a lot of those guys on the Westerly team, that's why it's so important for them to be the best young men that they can. And both of them on both teams have done a great job of that throughout the years.
And getting back to the 85 team, congratulations for that. And it's great that you can get that many. That shows you how special that it is, that you can get, you might get half, you might get a few, but when you get a response like that, that's got to tell you something, doesn't it?
How important it is.
Yeah, and when I had the heart attack, by the way, they didn't play the game on Thanksgiving Day, but they played it on Saturday. So now I'm in intensive care in the Wesley Hospital at the time. So the nurse comes in. I didn't even remember Thursday at all. That Thursday, when they were supposed to play the game, it's just a blank. I don't even remember anything until Friday. So Friday, when one of the nurses come in, and I said, first thing I asked about was the game, because I didn't know when I left whether they were going to play or not. She says, no, the game got postponed. It's Saturday. I said, oh, good. I says, then I can have a radio here so I can listen to the game. Ken, you're in intensive care. You had a heart attack. I said, listen, I got to listen to the game if I can't go there, right? So, no, can't do it. So then I think it was Friday, Saturday morning. I said, I made one more pitch to this nurse. I said, listen, you got to have a radio. I got to listen to that game. Let me see what I can do, she says. But you got to promise me that you will not get excited. I just turn the radio off. I said, I promise. So anyhow, long story, I got a chance to listen to the game that day. But then I get a surprise that someone comes to the hospital with a signed football from the team for me. Guy sitting right to your right there. So that shows you what kind of a bond you can make between an announcer and a coach and a friend, and that's the most important thing. Is we became really good friends. So
That's more important than anything.
yeah,
Close fraternity.
absolutely.
It is 100%. And like I said, you build no matter what, role you have as a player, a coach, a broadcaster. Sports bring people together at the end of the day, and that's the most special part. And for you guys to have an undefeated season too, I think that's what makes it a little bit more special. Not only did you win a state championship, you went undefeated at doing so, and then finished the deal and won Thanksgiving Day as well.
Right.
I got to tell you the second time when I couldn't do the game is when I found out I had the cancer, and it was in my lower jaw and lymph node in my throat. There was cancer in there. So the doctor knew there was one lymph node that had cancer in it. So I go through 7.5 hours of surgery, and talk about lucky. He said he took 30 lymph nodes out. I don't know how many you got in your body, but plenty of them. And he said that he was sure he got the one that had cancer. But before the surgery, my visit before the surgery, I go see the doctor in New Haven, Dr. Judson. And he says, Ken, I want you to do me a favor. I said, what? He says, usually when we're going to perform any kind of surgery, and this is major surgery, we have a group of doctors in the conference room. And one of us will bring someone in, the patient, and explain what we're doing and maybe get a response from the patient before the surgery. Yeah, all right, no problem. So he takes me down to this conference room. Well, he opened the door of the conference room, and it must have been 40 doctors in there. You know what I'm saying? Wow. So he introduces me to him, and explains the surgery that he's going to be doing on me. And then he said to me, and Ken, I want you to tell the doctors what you want to accomplish here. And he didn't tell me all that. He didn't tell me I would have to make a speech while I was in there. So he said, just tell them hopefully everything goes okay, which it will. But what do you want to do after the surgery? I said, I want to go back and broadcast football games and basketball games. That's what I want to do. I said, because that's what I know I'll miss. Okay, that's it. And they all give me a little standing ovation. That's all I said to them. I said, I just want to go back and broadcast basketball and football games on the radio. And the rest is history.
Right.
Here I am.
You set out to accomplish.
Still chugging.
Yeah.
Still chugging
Well,
too. She'll be on the
like I said, I've
she'll be on
been
the
I've
broadcast
been
on
fortunate. I've been blessed. I met a lot of people along the way, and one of them sitting right across from me now. Very special. Jimmy's a very special friend to me. Never let me down.
What a true friend does, right? Jim, question. Well, obviously all of them are really good, right? But as a player, a coach, broadcaster, which one was your favorite to be a part of in that game? Do you have a favorite? Is it really tough to decide? Can you pick one?
It's hard. It's
Yeah.
very difficult. I mean, certainly as a player, we had an outstanding day. We ended up winning 38-0 in a torrential downpour over at Stonington. And I was the quarterback of that team. And it was so much fun, and it just came easy that day. And we had a lot of success. Like I said, we won 38-0. So I'll always remember that. But I'd have to say, my first game as head coach, we were home, and we both had very good teams. I think we both had won 6 or 7 games up to that point. Actually, it was my second year. First year was at Stone, my second year. And I remember they had a great quarterback. His name was Matt Latham. And we were very concerned about him because he could run, he could throw, and he had a good day that day. And it was one of those back and forth games where anyone could have won the game. And I remember right at the end, we got a big first down. I ended up punching it in, and we ended up winning the game like 22-0, 22-19. We were losing like 19-15 at the time, and we got scored a touchdown and got the extra point. And we pulled it out. And 2 really good teams, a lot of good athletes, tremendous crowd. It was a beautiful day. And you go into the Thanksgiving Day game, you never know what's going to happen. It's like, am I ever going to win another one of these? How difficult is it going to be to cope with a loss? Like, for 3 years at Westerly as a player, and my first year coaching, I had never lost a Thanksgiving Day game. And several of them were not close, but this one was very close. So to make a long story short, I'm relieved at the end of the game that we had won. I got players hugging and crying, just very emotional. I look across the field in front of where the Stonington sideline was, and someone holds up a banner, and it says, "A decade of dominance," because that was our 10th win in a row against Stonington.
Wow.
So I'll always remember that, and that was very special to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you that because I've kind of gotten to do all 3 now. Obviously, not as many years as have you gotten to do it, but I feel like as a coach, it just means a little bit more. You love going out there and playing the game. That's how you ended up getting into coaching, right? It's because you love to play a game, be around the game. But there's just something about being a coach. You're basically in charge of the whole program, right? You're making sure everybody's good to go. You're constantly worrying about, hey, is this play going to work? Hey, is this alignment on defense going to work? And then when it all comes to the end and you're like, hey, we did it, and you feel really proud.
Well, you're 100% right. 100% right. When you're a player, you're playing for yourself, and you're having fun, and it's a great thrill. When you're a coach, you're worried that you're going to let the team down. You're going to let the community down. You don't want to be the one that, because ultimately it's your responsibility. So when you do win, you're relieved. When you lose, it's total depression. So there's not the joy of winning as a coach is not as good as the joy of winning as a player, because that sense of relief, like I didn't let anyone down, and you're so happy for your players more than you are for yourself.
100%.
You know that. So there's a lot of different emotions that are going through your mind, and you're thinking about, when you're the top guy, when you're the head coach. Whereas a player, it is much different. You still want to win, but it takes on a whole different concept.
Yeah, with a game like this, I mean, even as a broadcaster, when I see a lot of people and they'll say, "What do you think about Thanksgiving Day?" You've seen Stonington play, you've seen Westerly play. This is when we were basically doing Wesley Stonington games, so we'd see them quite a bit. And then you even ask us as broadcasters who we think's going to win the game. My favorite thing was whoever's got the most points. I don't know. I mean, I wish I could predict it, but I don't know. Just the way it is. So you got a lot of pressure on you, because everybody is all you could be 10-0 in the regular season, and a lot of people don't know you were 10-0,
It's what you do
but they
after
know
Thanksgiving
what you
morning.
did Thanksgiving Day. That's the difference, I think, and that's what makes it so special is that you got a lot more people involved in the whole
And you're right, Kevin, no
scenario.
one cares that you had a good record. All they care about is you beat Stone.
Exactly.
Because all those guys at the time that worked over at EB, that's all they talked about for a whole year.
Yeah.
Bragging rights. And
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. It's amazing. I mean, it's great. That's why I said there's a lot of people that in this world that would never experience anything like this. It's a special. I don't care how many. It's special. It's all you can say about it. Really
Yeah, I
is.
mean, you look right down the road at Cheraho. I mean, it's been an influx, over the past few years. We got East Greenwich now for 3 years running, which is good.
Yep.
Hopefully that can turn into something, but not many communities get something special like
No.
this, and it's really has been great to be able to be a part of it the past 2 days with the banquet and then being able to be a part of this program here tonight. Just hearing all the stories, hearing how passionately you guys talk about it as well. It really, I think, adds to the game for everybody, and I think everybody's going to want to tune in on Thursday. If you can't get to the game, obviously, if you can get to the game, get to the game. But if you can tune in on 321 Media, that is the only spot for the game.
And that's what I was going to mention also is the fact that down through the years, and that's another thing too, in high school sports, you don't have in other areas anyone covering these games. I mean, I know for years it was ERI and then BLQ, now Bennett 321 Media, but when it was ERI, we had Bob Angel who did some games in Newport area, down Middletown, and covered that area. But that was about it. I mean, and Kyle Grant, I mean, he loved sports. He would do. We'd be in Waterford and Legend and wherever else doing games. But that's another thing we're so fortunate here is that people that can't get to the games uh, have an outlet where they can still be involved. Is to listen to it on the radio or tomorrow or Thursday. You can tune in and actually see it on your TV. And I don't think I ever imagined that would ever happen. It was a big deal to put them on the radio. Never mind being able to sit there and watch it like you're watching a professional game.
I'm sure you're familiar with Chris Berman on ESPN.
Yes.
Grandfather ever tell you the story about when Chris Berman was at WERI?
Oh, well, I actually got to meet Chris Berman one time, and he told me all about it. We had a nice half-hour conversation. Just a really stand-up guy. He's just like talking like right here, right now with you guys. He just one of the guys, and so happy for him that he's going to end up being there at ESPN for 50 years. Well-deserved. He's done a great job over the years, and it just gives you some inspiration talking to a guy like that because he's just so humble. You would never expect him to be the type of guy that he is. And it was the utmost pleasure being able to meet with him and speak with him that day. And he also was able to come on Sports Open Mic as well. We were able to talk to him, and just means a lot to be able to have met him.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He never changes. He's the same guy that when I first met him, and I was just lucky that he was working here for about 9 months, I think, close to a year, and I worked with him most of the time. So that's how come I got to know him pretty much.
But yeah, he told me the story about him inviting him over for Thanksgiving
dinner, yes.
But that's something that a good person at least never forgets. And that's how you build a lifelong friendship. And that's just who Ken is at the end of the day. I know you know that better than probably anybody. His heart is as big as anyone's out there, and him going through broadcasting all these years. Never did it for himself. He's never had an ego. He just did it because he wanted to do it for those high school athletes, the coaches, and the community as well. So it's very well deserved that he's been able to do this game for however many years you've done it now.
Well, all I'm going to tell you is he's a lot more popular as a broadcaster than he was as an umpire.
Oh, well, I heard that. Yeah, I'm sure. Well, no umpire is really, is really liked.
See, he could always speak well. He just couldn't see well. But he was smart enough to make the move from umpire to broadcaster.
Well, hey, if you're a good speaker, right, you might miss a caller there. You might be able to talk your way out of it, you know.
Well, I remember when I got the word that I was going to be inducted into the Wesley High School Hall of Fame, and the reason is right there.
No, that's the reason right there.
But I even took it that night because he was going to introduce me. And I think you hit about everything.
Yeah.
What I did, what I didn't do, and then finally got something that he could do. But I'll tell you that I cherish that. I really do. That was very special to me that to get that award.
Well, there's 100. I don't know what we're up to now. Maybe about 135, 40, 140 people. 135, I think, that have been inducted into the Hall of Fame. There's only 5 contributors. All the rest of the coaches are athletes. And the very first contributor to be inducted into the Hall of Fame was Ken.
That's
well deserved.
That's special. Yeah, it's very special to me. That's when you're recognized by someone. You didn't go out and ask for it. Somebody actually saw what you did and all that hard work, and you did, and it worked for you. Very proud. Anyhow, thank you, Jim. Thanks for coming. We're just about out of time believe it or not. Any final words, you guys?
Let's do it again next year.
That's what we do, right?
God willing, we'll be back here next year.
Yeah.
We'll have another great week, and it was so good to be able to sit next to you and another generation of Collins behind the microphone. So you got to carry the torch.
I think hopefully I can do that. I'm not going to fill his shoes or anything, but just try to do as best as I can. I've been very blessed and fortunate. Ben here at 321 Media has welcomed me right in. He was really the first one to get me into it, obviously. We were doing a basketball game, and he just said, hey, you want to do the second half? I jumped in not really knowing what I was doing, but he said I did a halfway decent job once we got done. And, the rest is kind of history from there. But just to be able to broadcast games with him has just been a pleasure. And everybody else who I've gotten to do work with here on 321 Media has been awesome. So I appreciate those kind words. It's been awesome sitting down and talking with you the past few days. And I want to wish both the Stonington Bears and the Westerly Bulldogs luck on Thursday. I'll be on the sideline for the Chargers, but I'm definitely going to watch that game back. And go Bears, go Bulldogs.
There you go.
And good luck to you with your basketball team this year.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, he's done a great job.
He has.
Not only coaching, broadcasting, teacher too, by the way.
Oh, really? I didn't realize that.
Oh, yeah. He's got first grade teacher at Charlestown.
First grade teacher. That's tougher than being a coach.
There he is.
Good for you.
He's done it all already, but and he'll be fine. There's
sure
no question. No question about it. Well, you want to see the game? 321 Media. Thursday morning. Ben's busy. He's got 2 or 3 games on, but we'll be focused on this one, Wesley and Stonington, one more time. All right. Jim, thank you for coming as usual.
My pleasure. Thank you
All
for
right.
asking me.
And Dan, thanks
Thank you
for all
as
your help.
always.
Okay. That'll do it from Hilltop. Make sure you stop down. Try some of that, 8.2 pizza?
8.2 on the Portnoy scale. Come on down, Hilltop.
All right. And we just want to thank everybody for listening. I'm Ken.